Alright, so top grade interview. This is one of my favorite interview. So instead of going and trying to come up with creative questions to ask them and go with your gut feeling, what you do is you start from like their first job right out of college, or you can start from their first job while in college, and you talk about that experience, and they go to the next job, next job, next job, all the way to the most recent job. And the reason you do this, and the reason I like this, is because that really paints an overall picture of the person's progression from the beginning of their career all the way to where it is right now. So you're not just gathering one data point. Maybe you find out they consistently learn new things really quickly, and they were able to impress clients or their supervisor in many different areas. So if you're thinking, hey, this person doesn't quite have the skill sets you were looking for, but they had this pattern over and over again, then we could really hire that person because they had a pattern of impressing their previous supervisor. So anyway, I love this. It paints a whole picture. You're not just talking about the last job. Maybe the last job the supervisor was horrible, and that's not good. Good data point to really see whether that person is a player. But if you go through the whole story, usually you can find a pattern, and you can find a pattern on what they're really good at, what they're not so good at, what their strengths are, weaknesses. You get the whole story, and we can kind of tell whether they're gonna succeed in the job because of their past history. It's kind of hard to do if they just graduated, but if they have at least a few years of experience, this will be awesome. And you ask the same questions on each job. Sometimes, again, you may have to rephrase the question a little bit. Okay, so what questions you ask is what were you hired to do? And you just listen. Second, what accomplishments are you most proud of? And you just listen again, and you take notes. Okay, what were some low points during that job? And again, some people don't like to talk about that. If they kind of avoid that question, don't let them avoid it. Right? Again, you just have to find your own style. I tell them, well, everyone has low points. Some jobs, come up with have things that you may not feel so comfortable with. What were some of those things that you felt uncomfortable doing, or what were some things that you didn't like doing? Yeah, low points. Come on, just be honest. You can just share. So that could work. So that's really important. You need to find out. If they say, "Oh, everything was perfect," then you can ask them. Then why did you not stay there? And then they can open up. So don't let them get away. Have to talk. Have to let them answer that question. Okay, and then you ask. The fourth question, sometimes I don't do that. I usually just do that with the managers. So if they were a manager, ask them, hey, how was the team like? Who are the people you worked with? You can look down in the video and see the list of questions. How was the team like before you joined, after you joined, things like that. And then fifth question, why did you leave that job? Which is very, very important. If they liked everything about the job and if they're not honest, don't let them off the hook. Ask them again. Okay, and sometimes use silence. If you're just silent, uncomfortable silence, they will answer. Okay, so you do that with the first job out of college or first job they had, and then the job they had after, and then find out the patterns, and you will have a really good feeling on whether you think we should hire that person or not. Okay, top grade interview. I love it. Go through the documentations at the bottom, read it, and just practice. Okay.